Entrepreneurship. So this Sunday is a special Sunday. It is Love Story Sunday. So I had several people to reach out and say that they were interested in the love stories. And so we definitely have one for you guys.
Oh boy.
So I'm gonna tell it because he doesn't tell it correctly. So I'm gonna tell it. So I might let him ad lib here and there, but I'm going to tell it because I tell it better. So how it happened was back in 2013, long time ago. Back in 2013, back in Facebook land, we were in a Facebook group, and there was a post, and I honestly don't remember what it was. I don't remember what the post was. But when I commented, he commented, and what he said was not like what most silly people say, and what people say in like silly little comments or whatever. He had kind of like an intellectual vibe to it. So I liked the comment. Of course, I couldn't love it then, but I liked the comment. And I was like, oh, wow, this guy is cool. He's a nice person that I could talk to intellectually. And so after that, he went on my page and liked my pictures. And he was liking my Instagram pictures. So I was like, okay. And every time after that, that I commented or I posted, he would always say something. And then he made his way into my inbox and we started talking. And our conversation, okay, one moment, guys, we're gonna come right back after this really quick break. We're having technical difficulties.
If you're looking for healthy meal prep, family-style meals, or catering for your next event, look no further than the East Traveling Square Kitchen with Chef Square, Alan Phillips, specializing in soul food, family-style dining, and southern flavor. Chef Square can adhere to dietary needs like keto and bariatric meal prep without compromising on taste. Take advantage of weekly meal plans like the Starter Pack, 5 meals for $75 with 3 entree choices. Additional meal plans and contact-free delivery is available. Contact Chef Square of the East Traveling Square Kitchen today at 832-495-8836 and tell them Stunner Radio sent you. This show is sponsored in part by Houston's own multimedia mogul, Lisa the Boss Lady, motivational speaker, travel agent, sales consultant for Bye Bye Belly, Bedroom Candy, and Candy Coated Cosmetics, and coming soon, the co-host of the hot new talk show, Love and Entrepreneurship. If you're looking to start a business or you just need some inspiration, contact Lisa the Boss Lady. It's time to boss up in 2021. Follow her on Facebook and Instagram at Lisa the Boss Lady or visit her website, lisathebosslady.com. And don't forget to mention Stunner Radio sent you.
Thank you guys for hanging in there with us. Please let us know if you can hear us and everything is okay. okay, hang in there with us one moment, and I will go check one more thing, just one more quick commercial break.
This show is sponsored in part by Sweet Bella's Adult Candy and Treats, custom-made popcorn, gummies, lollipops, and other treats infused with genuine premium wine and spirit, also offering fun-flavored vodka and tequila. Sweet Bella's Adult Candy and Treats uses only top-shelf liquor and quality wine. For more information, follow Sweet Bella's Adult Candy and Treats today on Facebook, Instagram, or Etsy, or place an order at sweetbellastreats@gmail.com. That's Sweet Bella's Treats with a Z at gmail.com. And don't forget to mention Stunner Radio sent you. Bella's Adult Candy and Treats uses only top shelf liquor and quality wine. For more information, follow Sweet Bella's.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in with us this Sunday. We will go ahead and continue with our love story. So, Chef Square stepped away for 1 second, but I'm going to continue because I tell it better anyway. And so, like I was saying, we met in a Facebook group, and he was liking my comments, and I was liking how he was responding. And he also he jumped in my inbox, and so whenever we were inboxing each other, I just felt a vibe. It was an instant chemistry. It was I don't know, like, I guess fate, because here we are. But he was one of those people that you could talk to about anything. He never misunderstood anything that I said. And if you know me, you know I'm easily misunderstood. And sometimes my words don't come out correctly. You know, I have a good heart, but, you know, sometimes my words just don't come out correctly. And he never misunderstood me. He always, you know, I never had to say, well, I meant this, or I didn't mean it that way. You know, he always, you know, from the beginning understood what I meant the first time. And that just, you know, that means everything. So at the time, we did not pursue like a relationship or whatever. We were just best friends. And he has been my best friend since 2013. So that's how we began. And it was a friendship, just like a deep friendship where I could talk to him about anything. He always understood. And I don't know.
Boss Lady was a pimp.
This is why I said I'm going to tell this story, because that's what he's always going to say. Everybody's a pimp. So yeah, that's why I'm telling. So that's not what happened. So we both ended up, you know, in respective marriages. You know, he had a marriage to someone and I had a marriage to someone. And of course we were still friends, but because we were in respective marriages, we were respectful of that. You know, it was hi and bye. It was hi, how are you? You know, we didn't see each other, but it was text. It was, you know, hey, how are you? How's everything? And he's like, you know, hey, how are you? How's everything? That's pretty much how it was. And then my husband and I split up, and I did reach out and let him know, you know, we split up or whatever. And so he was very comforting, you know, text me, make sure I was okay, but he was married. So he did not come around me or anything like that. He just, you know, how are you? Are you okay? You know, are you eating? Are you, you know, feeling okay and everything? And I respected that. I respected that more than I respected anything else, because any guy, you know, would come around me and take advantage of the fact that I was vulnerable, because I was, you know, leaving a marriage and anything could have happened. But he didn't do that. And not only was he respectful of me, but he was respectful of his wife. And that's a big thing, because if I don't expect for him to be respectful to his wife at that time, how could I expect for him to be respectful for me as his wife? You know, a lot of times when people are going through something and they're experiencing heartache or sadness or the loss of a loved one or anything like that, they become in a vulnerable state. And, you know, like Jada Pinkett said, you can get entangled. And so I respected the fact that there was no entanglement going on. And
But the thing about that is that um, it was more important for me to really be a man of my word, and I had made a commitment before God, and that was something that I take serious. So I did it because it was the right thing to do, and not just that though, but I knew me, and I knew I couldn't come around you and be strong. So I had to keep my distance. I mean, the whole thing about it was to be good. I was really like not trying to do anything um contrary or trying to jeopardize anything in my relationship because I know how I felt about you. So I knew that was gonna get into it. It was gonna cause confusion and stuff and I couldn't afford to do that because of who I said that I am and what I stood for and what I still stand for.
better. So if at any time while we're telling our love story that you guys have any comments or any questions or anything like that, we will answer them, and we will be 1000% honest whether you can handle that or not. So going forward, you know, that was 2015 when that happened. And so our distance was kind of the same, you know, hi and bye, how are you, and everything, until 2018. I moved to the Dallas area. I felt at the time that I didn't have anything here in Houston, and if I was going to not be supported, then I would go not be supported where my mom is. And so that's kind of where I was. And I just didn't, I guess maybe I took for granted the levels of friendships that I had here. But not to mention just the fact that the way that I was feeling, I don't think that any of it would have been enough. I don't think that I would have, none of it would have been enough. And had I stayed here in Houston, it would have been the same outcome, you know, that it was there in Mesquite, because at that time I needed to develop and I needed to grow by myself. And so that's pretty much what I was by myself in 2018. Well, 2017 to 2018. And in January of 2018, Alan lost his wife. And the first thing that I said, you know, I did when I saw it was definitely to reach out to him, because I know how much he loved her and I know how much she meant to him. And he was my friend. So I wanted my friend to be okay. And so, of course, the first thing that I did was reach out to him and offer, you know, comfort, offer whatever I could offer to make him feel better. Because at the end of the day, you know, no matter what has gone on between 2013 and now, he has always been my ace. He's always been my best friend. So I wanted to make sure that he was okay. And so we kind of fell back into the same pattern that we did in the beginning, where we were talking all the time, just hanging out all the time. And I didn't care what it was that I needed to say or do or cook or whatever, because I just wanted my friend to be okay. And so, you know, that's what happened. And I was like, hey, you know what? Come here. You know, that's 200 miles away from what you're dealing with. See some different space. Look at some different sky. Look at some different surroundings. And so that's what he did. He came and stayed with me for about 2 weeks just to, you know, eat comfort food and hang out and like not be in Houston, you know, where everything is going on. And so when he was in a better headspace, he was able to come back to Houston and take care of everything, funeral arrangements and everything like that. And if you guys know who we are, how we are as people, when it's a funeral, it gets messy. It gets hard. It gets difficult to handle. And so I was always in his ear, 24/7, even when he was, here in Houston handling business, I was calling him. Hey, are you okay? Hey, did you eat? Hey, is everything going okay for you? And it was just important to me. It was just important that he was okay. And so we fell out of touch again because of the same thing that I had to do. I had to kind of isolate myself to fix me, to make me okay. And so he had to do the same thing. Of course, he had to do the same thing. So what happened was he isolated to fix himself. And, it was distant again. Hi, how are you? Hi and bye. And then 2019, I made sure that I was going to reach out to him again, on the 1 year anniversary of his wife's death, because I wanted him to be okay. And I know the things that he went through, because he took it really, really hard and he went to a very dark place.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure that he was okay. So of course I reached out and talked to him about everything but that. We talked about everything.
I mean, I'll say this. Losing a spouse is something that I don't ever wish on anybody to ever experience. And I will say that it's something that is very tragic and traumatic, and it takes people to different levels. And with me, I was not who I was, or who I needed to be. I wasn't even me. I had to basically relearn how to be me. And it took me a while to get back to that point, because whatever I was doing and everything, that whole life that I was living shattered. And so I had to rebuild me from the ground up. And so the distance was for that. And I had slipped into a couple of dark times, and I'm thankful for the support system that I have, because I don't think I would have made it without it. And she was a very big part of it. And when I got back together, and I had a moment of clarity, out of the confusion that was that year, she reached out, and we started hanging out, and we really started to like bond and get back to the core friendship that we had going on. And it just blossomed. And and then the funny part about it is it took me back to a point where like it was high school love. It was the sitting and talking and sitting, listening to music and just vibing and just talking about life and what we wanted, how we wanted it, and just those things. And it just kind of took off. And one thing led to another, and a couple of situations here happened, and I just kind of looked at her in a different light, because at first I wasn't even we both wasn't really looking for a relationship. Well,
we weren't actively looking. No, we were just hanging out,
and then especially like the last thing was like with each other. Like we really like we were just kicking it and just being friends, and that was it. And like I said, a couple of situations happened, and then it just kind of made us kind of turn and look at each other like, well, wait a minute. Why are we sitting up here looking everywhere else? I'm single, you single?
Well, I wasn't exactly looking anywhere. I wasn't looking anywhere. I had, at that time, I had learned kind of like the magic of being by yourself and learning yourself and being okay with being by yourself. Because if you're not okay with being by yourself, then you're not going to be good to your partner. You're not going to be good to anybody else, because that happiness has to be inside of you. So I was okay, and I was chilling, and we was chilling, a lot of sitting in the car listening to different kind of music, bringing up older music, and oh, I bet you I got this one, oh, I got this, and just camaraderie, companionship, just everything. And just the thoughtfulness that he was showing towards me. And I told him that I wasn't rushing into anything, that I didn't feel the need, for anything like that. Um, but it just, it blossomed, it just happened. It developed.
It just kind of happened. I mean, like I said, we just kind of ended up turning our attentions toward each other, and it just kind of was like, okay, well.
That's exactly what happened. Because like we ended up, like at first we were just, I called, just to check on him. And that was in January of 2019. And since that day, we have never spent a day apart. We have never spent a day not talking to each other at least 8 hours, and if we wasn't together, like physically face to face, we were talking on the phone at least 8 hours. And the only time that did not happen was in 2019. Like, when was that? For my birthday?
Yeah.
For my birthday, when my 40th birthday, I was on the Norwegian Epic. And so of course we couldn't talk 8 hours, because for one, I was on a travel agent trip. And so it was work. It was work, and it was learning, but of course I was on a cruise for my 40th birthday. I was in the Bahamas and everything like that. But we couldn't spend 8 hours talking. And when we couldn't spend those 8 hours talking, that's when we was like, okay, obviously we're going to be together, because this is not it. we not traveling apart no more. This is not happening. And that's actually what happened. I went on that trip single.
That's true. That is very true.
I came back not single.
That is very true. And it's funny because I laugh about it a lot too, because that's right. You went on the trip single.
I did.
But when you came back, you wasn't single when you came back.
So it pretty much, that's just what happened. But I want to like emphasize the fact that we didn't push anything, we didn't rush anything, and neither of us had any unrealistic expectations, because we both knew out from the gate what each other were about. Because the value of having a friendship before you have a relationship with someone is when you're friends with somebody, they see you. They see you without your hair in. They see you without makeup on. They see you. And honestly, that is the best part of you.
What also, I will admit, I tried to get her to cheat on her second husband. And I did. I tried to get her to cheat on her second husband, but she did not give in. And that's crazy. Now whoa.
Okay. I have an ex, and as you know, Lisa, I'm married. This ex still reaches out time and time again, and we never let the relationship go at all. We knew each other for about 12 years. Do you believe in twin flames? Out of all the other guys I dated before I married my husband, I never stopped thinking of him. I respect my marriage for sure, and I love my husband. How do I get over this hurdle?
That's like a shaking of the dice.
It is. Do I believe in twin flames? Yes and no. I believe it exists.
You know what? Let's dive into a sidebar real quick. Let's see if we can, if this situation would actually kind of help her out. Okay, when me and the boss lady first, when we first was getting to know each other, and I was trying to pursue her, I was really busy. I was working full time. I was, deeply into my lodge. I'm, as a Mason. I was real active with my church, so I was constantly busy. I always had something to do. And at the time, and though she let me know, but it was somebody else that was pursuing her at the same time. And it got to a point in which where she had to choose. And she chose. Now, like I said, I tried to get her to cheat, and she didn't. And well, of course, from earlier, and when we were talking about our story, I never cheated on my second wife, and that's something that's the cornerstone of our marriage, because we have been tested on both accounts, on both ends, and we actually stood the test, and it actually has proven to be a very credible asset. Now, the thing about it is, ma'am, you're gonna have to make up your mind.
Yeah, you're going to have to decide. But honestly, to tell you the truth, we can't necessarily tell you that you have to decide. If your husband, because I don't know what kind of mindset you guys have, because a lot of people are polyamory. A lot of people are polyamorous. And if your husband, it's about how he feels. If he is not happy with this ex reaching out, and he has a problem with the relationship you have with the ex, then you're going to have to nip it in the bud. And it's not abnormal for you to continue to think about your ex when he was a part of your life. We all have memories. We all think about our past. It's not abnormal to think about him, but the level of thought, if this is still relevant in your head, and for whatever reason you have not blocked this ex and he can still contact you, then obviously, it's a little bit more going on there. There's some feelings that have not gone away. So what you'll have to do is sit down and think about how far you're willing to take that. What are you willing to do? And have a conversation with your husband. And even if you need to seek counseling, do that as well, because to be respectful to your husband, you cannot have conversations with this guy. And if he doesn't get it, and you don't take the relationship that further, there's some reason that he still think it's okay to reach out.
And the one thing about us is that when we were in this situation, she actually, when she made her decision to marry her second husband, or to be with her second husband, I had to respect the fact that she was entering into this thing with him. Whether or not I liked it remains to be seen. Well, I didn't like it, but regardless, I had more respect for her to leave the situation alone and to cease pursuit of the situation, because I respected her. So it's all in how much respect does he actually have for you. And if that's the case, then it's you're gonna have to just
I have to, add that part in as well, because if he is still reaching out to you, knowing that you are married, that kind of leaves a respect factor in there as well. When Alan was trying to get me to cheat on my second husband, he was not my husband at that time. He's married too, and he did not tell you. Yeah, that's definitely that's definitely crazy, because that leads me to believe that he doesn't respect any marriage, including his own. Cut it off.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Because if he's already married and he didn't tell you, that's disrespectful on several levels. Cut him off, block him, and that's it. Because he doesn't mean you any good.
And not just that though, but I was just to chime in. When a man is blessed, he's blessed because he stands for right, and anything that is not right is not right. Period. And if it's not right for in the sight of God, it should be right for you. That's something. If he is willing to jeopardize and compromise that integrity, then yeah, you already know what time it is.
Absolutely. Cut him off. Period, poo. I feel sorry for his wife as well. I really do. And I know that it's difficult for you because you obviously still have feelings, and for whatever reason you're connected to this young man. So I think that's what's kind of what's pulling you and what's holding you. But I'm gonna tell you something about love, feelings, and routine. Sometimes they can get confusing. Sometimes when you get in a routine of loving someone and a routine of being with someone and that person being there with you, then it can portray itself as love. And I've experienced that. And you can really, really think you're still in love with this person, but in honesty, you're in habit with this person.
Yeah, and you have to break it. You have to break bad habits.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Knowing him and his ways, I think there are more. Oh my God. Cut him, block him.
Girl, I'm
finna block him.
What's
his name?
Ryan.
And familiarity. Exactly, familiarity. When a person is familiar to you, it can make them feel like it's in love. That is absolutely correct, Lisa. When you, like you said that you were with this guy 12 years ago, and it's basically that. It's you reminiscing. It's the memories that you had with this person, making you think that you still care about him.
Well, no. Here's the big one, the big stamp right here. He's an ex for a reason, right?
Absolutely. That too. You're right. Absolutely.
He is an ex for a reason. And when you see?
Exactly.
Exactly.
People revisit old relationship with exes when they are an ex for a reason.
Yeah.
They are an ex for a reason, right? So when you're revisiting that familiarity, revisit why they're an ex too. That'll help you.
Right. And it's the reason why I always say Lisa Dene is my sister. I swear. Look, great minds think alike.
We never let it grow at all because I felt that he was always mysterious. And that's definitely not good. Being an open book, being transparent is the best way to go. I'm always transparent because, for one, I don't have a good memory. So I can't remember every lie I told you. So I'm just going to tell you the truth. So there's not anything I have to sit up here and remember or rehearse and I'm unscripted. So I can't, I can't do that. I'm just very transparent up front. And that's the same thing that is with Chef Square. I love that about him. I love the fact that, he is upfront and what you see is what you get.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is I'm reserved until you open that book. And if you open that book, the key is always in front of you. If you decide to open that book, just depending on what chapter you happen to open up, you might like it, you might not. It just depends on how you thumb through the book.
I read all the pages. I read the summary first. I read the summary first, but I read every page. And something else? Sometimes when you read a book, the second time that you read that book, you see something that you didn't see the first time. And I think that's what makes us revisit old relationships. That right there. Okay, well, maybe I didn't do this right, or maybe I felt this way and this wasn't correct, or maybe, but you have to always remember the reason why they are an ex. Now, I'm not saying that every single time that's the case, because if that was the case, we wouldn't be together.
And then think about this. Think about why your husband is your husband.
That too. Because you don't want this. He doesn't deserve that.
See, here's the thing. The thing about it is it's about weighing options. And because when you start revisiting exes and the thoughts of exes, it becomes one of those things of, okay, well, hey, you get to reminiscing about good times when you're in bad times with in your inside a relationship, because everybody wants to feel good. And the thing about that is that's what becomes toxic. But when you get into those spots, it's good to just think about why did you allow him to marry you? Why did you allow yourself to be married or to be attached to him? Because there was a reason. It's a reason why you decided that you did not want to let him go, and you had to take y'all relationship to the next level. It had to be a reason. And if your marriage is good and is working, then obviously there is some things that is present that you've seen way back then. And it may be some things that blossom even more so than so yeah, sometimes you have to sometimes you have to revisit on why did I actually get married? Why is he who he is in my life? And you can get some clarification from that too.
That's definitely sound advice. And you also definitely do want to, revisit the reason why you married your husband. You want to, be fair to him, because that's not fair to him, to have somebody always lurking in the background, especially somebody not worthy like this one, because he definitely is not. You don't want anybody sneaky or mysterious, and especially not a person that is a serial cheater, clearly, because he didn't even have the decency to tell you that he was married, and he knew up front that you were. You want to treat every relationship. You don't want to be that person that's giving more energy. That is an abusive relationship. If you're putting into more than the other party is not putting in as much as you are, and it doesn't matter if it's friend, family, business, whoever it is, if you're putting in more than the other party, that is an abusive relationship. And how do you think your husband would feel about this? He would probably feel that he was in an abusive relationship, because you're entertaining thoughts of this guy and he's not worth it. I say just cut all ties, and and if it helps, because a lot of it is familiarity, and I've been through that. I mean, literally thought I was in love with somebody for 2 whole years over familiarity, and then when I started getting to know that person and not their representative, then I was like, ugh, I don't want to be with you. You cool though. I don't want to be with you. And so tell yourself every day. Tell yourself every day one reason why you don't want to be with him. Like, he don't like okra, and I like to cook okra and tomatoes. Tell yourself a reason why every day, and it will definitely help get that familiarity out of your head. My husband is amazing, but he got cut up doing marriage of 4 years and while I was pregnant. So that's definitely another conversation. I think I allowed him to marry me because he does much for me. But I'll be honest, he crossed that line again, I'm gone. And I think he knows it. So he does everything to try to protect me. But then my husband's words were verbatim: you can't do as I do. It was a joke when he said it. But then again, he also listens to Kevin Samuels and the business. So, okay. Girl, you need a show.
Right. Like, wow.
That is a lot. And so that kind of gives me a little more insight on why you entertain that thought. Or a therapist.
Oh, yeah.
You definitely need a therapist. Definitely. For you guys to develop and grow better, Yeah, I don't have any other words, but wow, that's a lot. That's a whole lot. But that makes sense as to why you were, entertaining those thoughts.
Well, yeah, but at the same time too, there is a reason why they say you F up, because like, let's not go backwards. If you're gonna do something, if you're gonna go for the gusto, you might as well go for the gusto. Like, why would you even cheat yourself?
Right.
Like if you gonna jump, like, because that's the thing. If you're gonna jump like that, then jump, because just anybody is gonna be mad if they especially if you cheat and the person ain't nowhere close to being who that man is.
I know I'll be mad.
I'll be mad. Man, look, if you gonna
I'll
cheat,
be mad.
let the man make more money. Let the man have more stuff. You know, maybe drive better cars or something like that. Like, give me something that I gotta go shoot for.
Oh my gosh. While we talking about shooting, I don't care what she make or what she got. If you cheat up or down, I'm gonna shoot both of you.
See, violence.
So, yes, I'm going to seek therapy for sure. Yes, definitely important. Please, please, please. And guys, please don't think that there's something wrong with that. Please don't think that there's something wrong with seeking therapy, because at the end of the day, we as adults, we as women, we as Black women need to understand that it is okay if you recognize that there's a flaw or that there's something going on or there's something wrong. There's nothing wrong with fixing it. There's something wrong with letting it stay wrong.
That part.
Oh, you have another part to the story. Bring it on. What's the other part to the story? We here for it.
Oh boy. She got. Ooh. Now this
is the tea. No, this is the Hennessy.
Now this is what you call the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, this
is that good Hennessy with Hypnotic.
We are definitely here for it, but what we're going to do is take a really quick break, and then we'll come back and hear what Jax has to say about the other part of her story, and we will bring you your homework.
Are you looking for a quality pre-owned vehicle but have less than perfect credit? Look no further than Mi Amigo Motors, offering in-house financing to help you build or reestablish your credit. All vehicles are put through a multi-point inspection, and their award-winning customer service and on-site service center will make your buying experience stress-free. I know you got your stimulus check and it's tax refund season, so stop by Mi Amigo Motors today at 9729 Long Point Road or give them a call at 832-548-5927 to reserve your appointment for their VIP approval. Again, that's 832-548-5927. And don't forget to mention Stunner Radio sent you.
All right.
And we are back. So we are waiting to see what Jax has to say. And while we're waiting for that, we are definitely going to tell you guys what your about your homework. Your homework for this week is... we want to hear your love story. We love love stories. So we want to hear your love story. So definitely post that on Love and Entrepreneurship Facebook page for a prize. Whoever has the best story, definitely with a good beginning and a good ending, will win a prize. So we're super excited to hear from you guys. And I want to see your love stories on Love and Entrepreneurship. Bonus if you put a picture, a before and after picture, like a before you like a first date type thing, or and a now type thing picture. So definitely like how you started and how you finished. So Chef Square and I are definitely going to post ours on there today, because of course it started with, you know, likes on Instagram and likes on Facebook, and I do still have the screenshot of his likes. So so we're going to post that. And so I want to see yours. I want to see how you started and how you ended up. So he is an IT, a vice president of a major company, this 12-year guy. So I truly believe he probably did research and stalked me online for years, and he could never get through to me. So after that, he went ahead and gave up and just settled and married who he was with. That's what me and my bestie felt. My bestie was team Mr. M. Then he pulled all this mysterious stuff, and now he tries to still talk to me. I'm like, dude. And Mr. M did state to me in person not too long ago, he confessed. He goodness.
Oh.
Ugh, that's a lot.
Girl. Wait.
That's a lot.
Wait.
So I definitely do think you should block this guy, and he's creepy. You might want to get a protective order.
Well, because at the end of the day, I think the worst thing you could do is get into something with somebody that has resources to that effect. You never know what that could, how that could compromise you. And I do think that you need to watch yourself because um uh most people of value are like trophies to some people, and so you might need to, yeah.
Well, I mean, from what you have described, it feels like that it's possible that he may have stalked you, but I may be the minority here. But I think you should definitely let your husband know about this.
Yeah,
you don't want for him to find out another way.
Right. I think that is the most important thing, and I think that, yeah, you need that's a
because
conversation.
if something harmful, if something was to happen to bring you harm, God forbid, I hope, knock on wood, I hope that does not happen, then he would be completely blindsided, and he may not be able to give the information that he needs to give to locate you, to save you, to help you,
Right.
Because if he's in the dark and he doesn't know any of this, then how can he help you in the situation that, because this is really scary to me, so I don't know, that just sounds a little sketchy and makes me feel very apprehensive. And I'm not saying, go tell your husband you've been thinking about cheating and all this stuff. I'm not saying that, but let him know, hey, this guy's stalking me, and I'm telling him I'm married. He's not, taking no for an answer. I'm not, doing anything with him. I'm not meeting up with him, but this is what this is what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, you basically gotta let it be known, because like me, I ain't gonna lie. Now, if I was in that situation, everybody knows my philosophy: try Jesus, but just don't try me, because I shoot.
And that's another thing, because maybe your husband needs to tell him to step off, and maybe he'll step off of it. So if your husband tells him to step off, you never know. Then if your husband is not telling him to step off, because that may be why he's continually, she must not mind, she ain't told her husband ain't telling him, because if he feels that you're entertaining him, because we're in two different states, but the internet is real. Absolutely. But if you're in two different states, then that's absolutely there's no reason that you shouldn't be able to tell that to your husband.
And just shut it down. Because I mean, yes, you never know. And with that being said, who knows? He could catch a flight quick and try to pull up on you.
But besides that, you just want to keep everything, on the level.
And just 100. Like we always say, let's bring it to the table.
Right.
Bring it to the table, and we discuss it, and we sort it out, and we make it happen. So. Oh boy.
What's another thing?
Girl.
We might need a part 2.
We might have to just bring you on the show,
right?
So you can just you can explain this story in its entirety.
We're gonna have a soap opera segment spinoff of Love and Entrepreneurship, the trials of love and entrepreneurship.
Right.
But I am glad that you are, that you do feel comfortable enough to bring this to the table, because, you could be just sitting back and not saying it and not holding it inside and not getting, any advice or any, information. And I'm not by any means a professional. Everything that I'm telling you is something, the way that I would handle it and the way that I would do it and the way that that I can logically say is safe. He has offered numerous of times to take me on nice trips and even fly to where I am. Crazy, right? I should get with Tyler Perry while I'm here in Atlanta. You absolutely give him some new material, girl. I want to see this. I don't want to see that other stuff.
You know what? Hey, you might have a nice little check going on.
That's
right.
Right. Give him some new material, girl, and buy your own wigs, okay?
Lord have mercy, Jesus. But I will say, I mean, that sounds like a good old movie deal right there. But definitely you're gonna have to check it. And not only that you're gonna have to check that, but you're gonna have to let your husband know what's up. And hey, because the one thing about it, if he's offered to take you on numerous trips, that means that his pursuit is getting a little more higher. And it also means that it's not about your marriage, it's about his conquest. So you might need to like nip it, like
I mean, because and he's speaking from experience, because when I say he was relentless in his pursuit, here we are. And I mean, no, literally for real, because when I was dating my second husband, Alan, he was trying to get me to cheat on him. And of course I wouldn't. And he eventually stopped coming around trying to, make me cheat or whatever. And I mean, I was very adamant about it. I was not going to cheat on my boyfriend at the time. He was not my husband. And I think that when he became my husband, then that made it definitely different, because Chef Square at that time did step off because he was my husband. So do you feel he's still yes, that's why he's reaching out, because I'm telling you, men don't reach out for no reason, because they want something.
I mean, because at the end of the day, you got to take this into consideration. You are a prize, okay? Let's be honest.
I mean, seriously, you see those lips, girl?
I mean, so if that's the case, then you're gonna have to understand that, and have to know that there are other men that see you in that type of light, as well as your husband.
You don't feel that you're a prize? Girl, are you kidding me?
Look, you know what? I'm gonna tell you what.
Listen, Tiana Taylor don't have nothing on this girl lips. Okay, she is fly and flawless. I look at her stories and I get mad because my lips are not thick like that.
But you got to think about this. You got to know. You have to know who you are and what you bring to the table. Not when you get mad. I mean, like really, literally put your resume together.
Yes, Lisa. Yes, that part. So, yes. And I can tell that they're real. I can tell your lips are real. And you have a beautiful body. You have a beautiful face. You are one of those people that like to help other people. And that's you're beautiful on the inside and outside. Any man can see that.
I mean, but you got to take this into, like I say, you have to take this into consideration. You, besides being mad and talking about the things that you do as a person, as a woman, as a wife, you ought to take those things and write those things down. And once you get your list together of just things that you do as a woman, things that you do for a man, things that you do as a wife, things that you do as a person, write all that down. You ought to do that.
Dad from Lake Charles and mother from Port-au-Prince, they both gave me cheeks and lips. Well, they did a great job.
Well,
they did a great job. But seriously,
obviously, because
and then you have an entrepreneurial mind as well. And a lot of people, when they see from the outside, they see what you have going on with your husband, what you have going on with your businesses, what you have going on, they see that, and that's a prize to them. But if he's reaching out, it's for that reason. And if your husband did marry you and he did, take the time to say, hey, look, I messed up and let's fix it and get on the straight and narrow to do those things. And obviously then you were worth it. Obviously they felt that you were worth the work. Well, and this guy, he done came back from 12 years ago or whatever.
I mean, you have to realize that you are a hot commodity. There are not too many women that are like you. And you know what's funny? Most women that are like you are married.
crazy part, my husband doesn't see Eek as the pusher and hustler. Mr. 12 years said I'm the shit because of my hustle. It's another long whole story. Yes, it's very. It does seem like a very long story.
Well, the thing about that is well, sometimes you have to understand that when you put a title on something, that's what it becomes. You are an entrepreneur. You are a high commodity. You are a special diamond in the rough. People can see your value. You're going to have constantly pursuers that are going to want to pursue you. But it is you to understand the value of even your replies to certain situations.
Facts.
Because that's where you hold your power at.
Absolutely.
And you give energy to whatever that is that you want. And you got to understand that once you feed a fire energy, it will continuously burn.
Absolutely. That is facts. Absolutely. Whatever energy that you give this man, he gonna take it, and it looked like it doesn't take much. You give him a centimeter, and he got a mile. So,
and like I said, it's all about the pursuit, and that's what you're looking at. You're looking at the pursuit, and you're thinking, oh well, and it makes you think because of the energy that he's putting into the pursuit. I'm here telling you that when I pursued this Miss Boss Lady, my pursuit was relentless. But here's the funny thing. It hasn't stopped yet. So is it, I mean, it's the maintenance. It's not about showing it now.
Right.
It's about the longevity.
Right.
Is this pursuit just going to stop after you get me out of my situation and go into something else? Like, come on.
Absolutely. And I mean, and the fact that he's an ex, so that means that at one point then his relentlessness wavered.
Right.
At some point he didn't go as hard as he needed to go.
The consistencies was off a little bit.
Right. Lowered. Yes, lowered.
So
that means that's kind of like a one that got away type situation, right?
Yeah.
So he's looking back at what he should have had and what he should have did. Well, shoulda, woulda, coulda. That ship has sailed. Block.
Actually, in the words of Mike Jones, back then they didn't want me. Now I'm hot. They all on me.
Tell him to call 281-8005. That's who he need to call. Because it's dead. Obviously. Oh yeah, he wasn't consistent. He saw you at his convenience. Yeah, so that's pretty much like the same thing. That's telling you how he's gonna treat you now. That's telling you, okay, well, now I see you doing what I want you to do or doing what looks good to me, then now I want you.
No,
it don't work like that, player. You gotta have me, you have to take the best and the worst of me equally.
Equally.
And you have to take it with the same joy. You have to take the worst with the same joy as you take the best.
I mean,
nope.
That's just like prime example. When I first pursued the Boss Lady, she was 300 and some odd pounds. Right now, she is at her looking the best I've seen her since we have known each other.
So I didn't look good then?
I married you, didn't I? I was trying to marry you before your first husband. I mean, your second husband. I'm just saying. Tell me what.
Whatever.
But, I mean, my thing is it was more important for me to be with her then, because look at what I got now.
At the end of the day, what he trying to say? What he trying to say is if they can't accept you at your worst, and they don't deserve you at your best, because when you're at your worst and you're at, what we call a valley in life, right? When you're making that climb to the mountaintop, that's the most important times. Those are the critical times. And if he can't be there for you at those times, because you're going to have more than one valley in your life. And if he couldn't be there for you in your first valley, then he won't be there for you in future valleys when you really, really need him. He's absolutely showing you who you are.
Yeah.
So it's time for you to believe him.
Yep. Know when to hold them, know when to fold them. You got to fold them.
So our hour has really passed by very fast.
Yes, Lord.
Thank you, Jax.
Man.
We will definitely continue this conversation later, because we need some girl talk. So we'll definitely continue this conversation later. Definitely tune in next week for Love and Entrepreneurship. You never know what we're going to do. And make sure that you go to lisadaBossLady.com to get your tickets for the Boss Up Bootcamp. If you are a business owner, or if you want to be a business owner, it is imperative that you be in the place. It is Saturday, September the 18th, 2021, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Reverses Center. So make sure that you get your tickets. We also have a vendor show after lunch, and those vendor spots are limited. So hurry up and lock them in. I got 3 people asking me about them. So it's first come, first serve. Go ahead and lock in your spot. And we have some soul food by Chef Square coming soon as well. On June 27th.
I will be doing a soul food dinner, launching my my business and my website, and so you can be able to enjoy some of my specialties and leave with a good full stomach. I'm gonna be throwing down in the kitchen, so come out and enjoy.
Absolutely. Everybody wants Sunday dinner, and who wants to cook it? Let Chef Square do it. So June the 27th, there is a flyer on Facebook, and you can text Chef Square, or you can text Lisa the Boss Lady to reserve your spot. When you reserve your spot, we will send you the address.
Right.
So this has been our love story and Jack's love story.
Right.
And happy Sunday, guys. Take care of you. And remember your homework. Make sure you go and post your love story on Love and Entrepreneurship, and you get extra bonus points if you post your before and current pictures. And we are going to be looking to see which has the best story and give you a prize. So participate. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Happy Sunday.